What's going on, guys? I can't believe I haven't made a video on this yet. Now, I know I've touched on this in other videos, but I've never made a specific video dedicated to the proper length of your pants. So today, that's all changing because we're going to talk about break, cuffing, pinning, and hemming. I'm John. Welcome to my channel. All right, welcome back, and as always, I'm glad that you're here. So today's video is brought to you by the guy who sent me the message on Instagram asking for this video. So, Mr. McGuire, here you go, my friend. And like I said earlier, I can't believe I haven't made this video yet, but also note, styles change. And since this video is being filmed in September of 2020, it very well could be irrelevant next year or the year after that. But as of today, and for the last couple years, this video represents the overall blanket standard as well as my own personal opinion. So let me just start by saying this. If your goal is to be at least somewhat stylish today, gone are the days of those baggy loose fit pants that puddle down around your shoes, right? This was, and always has been a pretty bad look. Plain and simple, it looks sloppy, and it makes it look like you're wearing someone else's clothes and that someone else is like a foot taller than you and about 30 pounds heavier. Here's the thing though, we can't just talk about length and break without at least mentioning the width of the pant leg opening down at your foot. So ideally, your pant leg should have a slight taper from about the knee down to your foot. This does not have to be incredibly narrow or even skin tight, but there should be a nice trim taper if you're an average build guy. This helps in a few different ways. First, it helps trim out your silhouette because the excess fabric can make you look a little bit larger than you are, of course body type dependent. And it also helps prevent your pants from sort of flapping around a little too much when you walk, especially if you go with a cuff. First, let's talk about jeans. Now, in my opinion, and I think for most guys in the 40 and over age bracket, I like to see the jeans just touching the shoe, right? I don't like to see a lot of break, but some is okay. I'm also not completely on board with showing a ton of ankle either, although I have in the past. I just think that's a look that's best suited for the younger crowd. Now, if your jeans are a little bit too long, take those things to a tailor and have them hemmed. But just make sure they can either keep the factory seam or make an equivalent one. Now, if you're like me and you're sort of between standard inseam sizes, some of your pants might be a little bit too long. In this case, try to cuff them up once or twice. Now, obviously, this is not going to be for everyone, and it's a very casual look. But as long as the leg opening isn't too wide, I have no problem going with a small cuff. Now, if your pant legs are a little too wide, I might suggest having a tailor sew in a little taper from the knee down to your foot. However, if that's not an option for you, you can incorporate a pin roll. It's pretty simple. Just pinch the excess fabric on the inside, fold it back, and then cuff about twice to hold it in place. I've even seen some guys use a rubber band on that first cuff to help keep it in place better. As you can see, it gives you a nice tapered look. Okay, moving on to chinos. Now, there's a lot of different variations of chinos right now, with some being more casual and some being more dressy with that permanent crease down the leg. But just like jeans, I like the length just touching the shoe with minor break. Now, with more casual chinos, the same rules apply with cuffing. But with more dressy chinos, at least in my opinion, those guys need to be hemmed at the correct length. Here's something else to consider. The older we get, especially in our late 30s through our 60s, we should be paying attention to small details like this. And the reason for that is this. The small details, like we're talking about today, are just more noticeable with us, right? We're older. We should know this stuff. And when we get it wrong, it seems to get amplified on us because if we show, for example, too much ankle, we're trying too hard to look young and trendy. But if there's too much break, we look sloppy, uninformed, and outdated. Moving on to dress trousers. Now, once again, I like the pant leg just touching the shoe. Getting the length right with dress trousers is a lot more critical because the details are a lot more noticeable, right? Too short, looks like you're trying a bit too hard. Too long, looks like you're wearing someone else's pants. Now, I still like a nice taper from the knee down to the foot so that the finer wool fabric doesn't flap around too much when you're walking. Now, I'm okay with a straight hem or even a cuff hem. One cool side note about cuffs that can be beneficial is the little extra weight of that cuff helps pull the pant leg down. And because the weight of that cuff is at the bottom of the leg opening, it helps to keep the fabric draping nicely. And as my friend and custom clothier Daniel George says about cuffs,
Tom Ford wears cuffs.
Okay.
Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren is probably 5'7" or 5'6". He's a little dude. It's got to be a big, thick cuff and then a really nice taper. If you look at P.T. Uomo in Italy, you never seen so many cuffs.
I know.
Cuffs you can put a sandwich in.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, that's where I'm jumping off today. If you got something from this video, please tap that thumbs up button to let me know. And also please consider subscribing because I'm here twice a week with brand new videos. That means I'll see you in just a few days for another video. But until then, live well, stay healthy, and I do hope to see you soon.